I'm Caleb from You Can Make This Too, and in this video, I'm turning this big mahogany blank into this. This blank is just 4 pieces of wood glued together. I've showed milling and gluing up wood in almost every video, so just skipped over that part. And this time I'm going to use the CNC to do the base carve. If you don't have a CNC, you can check out the video I did before where I used a trim router to do a base carve. It's just a whole lot slower, a little less precise, but it kind of gives you more of a handmade feel because those imperfections. If you don't like CNCs, just pretend I'm dragging this around with my hand like it's a hand router. But yeah, we'll get it going. I've got the file already, flip it over, do the other side, and then we'll get to the fun part, which is all the hand carving. So let's go. All right, base carves are done. You might have noticed on the other side, the first side I did, I had a clamp shift issue. So we're gonna have to do a repair. Not gonna be a big deal. Talk about the bit I use. I've used this taper bit that has a 1mm ball nose, tapers at like a 3.9 degree angle or something like that. And it's an upcut. Because it's an upcut, I got all these fuzzies. And I know there's some people going, hey, if you use a down cut, it wouldn't be fuzzy. I get it. But because this is such a fine point, and I like this does better for the carving because you get less chip out and blowout with the tapered profile than with a straight bit. And if I'd use the down cut, what that does is force all the shavings down. Minor fire hazard, but basically generates a lot more heat on the bit because with the upcut, it evacuates all the chips up, which is what I really want to happen. Of course, it's so small, you could even see I need a little help with the blowgun to get all the chips out. So I have a bunch of fuzzies. Not a big problem. Let me show you how quick it is to take care of that. Little 220 grit sandpaper on my Mirka. No more fuzzies. This part's going to take a while. It's one of the nice few days around here. So I got the doors open, move my bench over here. Although I probably need to turn it around so I get the view and I don't get washed out on the camera. But anyway, time to start doing some of the handwork. First thing I'm going to do is just remove all the bits that are inside, like, you know, the inside of the O, inside of the E, and between letters. And then on this funky, I don't know, the shapey design that makes things pretty, remove the bits that are supposed to be removed so that we don't get confused later. And then we'll start doing some base work. And this outer curve is actually the final profile of what everything's going to be, but I went ahead and left the waist. I didn't quite connect these two, so that way I would have a square shaped clamp just because that's going to be a lot easier to clamp. So that'll be the last thing I'll do is freeing this out. So I got all the really delicate pieces out with a small gouge and started removing some of the bigger ones. Realized it's going to take forever. So I'm putting that same bit in a trim router. I'm going to start working around the letters so to make sure I don't mess up. I'm just going to, you know, mark what I need to do because obviously there's a whole lot of carving left still. So not worried about missing out on this, you know, finicky stuff between the letters. Also means I'm less likely to accidentally hit one with a gouge and knock it, chip it, you know, break things. So I finished all the relief carving on this side. Well, not all the carving, but all the background relief. Next will be getting all the detail in the scroll work and adding a lot of detail to the carriage is going to be a lot more finessing, but all this is pretty hard, choppy work, as you probably saw. So I want to flip it over and do all that hard beating on the other side too before I start, finessing the wood. So we'll do all the rough carving on the other side, then we'll start doing all that fine detail work. Finally did have a little boo-boo while I was carving. You might notice in that time lapse this little skinny bit that I had a feeling something bad was going to happen to. But I found it, kept it. Easy little fix, nothing a little CA glue won't help. We'll just do a little dab on the piece. Little spritz so it cures quick. Hold that for a few seconds. All better. So I've got all the main relief carving done, and then I use a little Dremel tool with a little burr grinder to kind of get up in all the grooves and help loosen all the chips and clean things up. Now it's time to start adding all the detail and give this thing some depth. Carriage is going to be a big part of that, and also the scrolls, because that's really kind of all we have. So I'm going to start doing some lines, do a little bit more router work to establish some lines, and then start moving things back. I think the wheels would be the farthest out, so they'll be the most proud. And then we've got some of these members you can see that would go behind the wheel, so we'll lower them. The steps would be lower, or they would be out farther than the body itself, so we'll lower the body and set the door some. I think this would be a lantern, so we'll probably push that back a good bit, do some smoothing, and then we'll have to look at the original artwork for the scrolls and kind of figure out what to do with those. So yeah, now for the hard stuff. All right, finally ready for some next steps. So all the relief carving is done, all the layering and shaping is done. As you can see off camera, I went ahead and hit it with a little bit of spray paint to bring out the shadows and then sanded everything off. It's not a big deal that it's not a lot of the carving is going to get painted, because it'll get painted. So time to cut the shape out, do a little repair on our CNC boo-boo, and then start doing all the painting. But in between that, once I cut it out and fix that boo-boo, I've also got to soak it in oil to give it some protection, because this is going outside. So. All right, got a few coats of finish, really happy with the way it's looking. Next is make a way to hang this thing. It's gonna be real simple. Just do a 4x4 post with a 4x4 arm, half lap those two where they go together. Then we're gonna do a little roof to go over that, just to help block some UV and rain, keep some moisture off this. Most importantly, it's gonna give us a place to nest some lights over it that'll be dawn dusk sensing, solar powered, have batteries, so that way we don't have to run any cables out to this or have lights on the ground that's gonna get in the way of doing landscaping and groundskeeping. So let's knock that out real quick. Drilled a hole, set the post in it, added a little concrete and water, and here we go. All the hardware is solid stainless. Didn't go for the zinc galvanized since this is living outside. And then we got some lights underneath here on dusk dawn sensors with some little solar panels off Amazon. Hopefully they work well. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It'll all get painted, but the pressure treat's still a little wet, so that'll wait till spring once everything's dried out. But yeah, we got a carved outdoor sign, all stainless, lighted on a post, set. Really happy with it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something, were inspired, or at least entertained. And until next time, make time to make something.